A single Bitcoin transaction uses enough electricity to power your house for 50 days. 50 days. So naturally, everyone is screaming that crypto is killing the planet. But here's the thing, the global banking system uses twice as much energy as Bitcoin. So who's really the villain here? Welcome back to the Swap Space channel. Drop this video a like and hit the bell icon to catch us every week on Monday.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Now, back to the topic. The year is 2025, and somehow we're still having this debate. Environmental activists say Bitcoin mining is literally melting the ice caps. Crypto bros claim it's actually saving the environment. Politicians are banning mining farms while simultaneously buying Bitcoin for their national reserves. It's a mess. And honestly, both sides are kind of right and kind of wrong. So let's dig into what's actually happening here, because the truth about crypto mining is way weirder than either narrative suggests.
Let's find out.
Detailed comparison forthcoming.
First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the hamburger eating contest in the room. Imagine there's a contest. Whoever eats the most hamburgers in an hour wins $200,000.
Hamburger.
I know this comparison is lukewarm, but just bear with me here. Naturally, everyone goes nuts for that 200K. People are scarfing down burgers like their lives depend on it. The meat industry is thriving. Cows are less thrilled. That's basically Bitcoin mining. Except instead of hamburgers, miners are consuming electricity. And instead of 200K, they're competing for Bitcoin worth over 100K as of August 2025, and sometimes a little more than that. The winner gets the prize. Everyone else, they just wasted a bunch of energy, or hamburgers. You get the idea.
What a waste.
This is called proof of work. And yes, it's exactly as inefficient as it sounds. But here's the kicker, it's inefficient on purpose. See, that waste, that's not a bug. It's a feature. The massive energy consumption is what makes Bitcoin virtually unhackable. It's like having a vault that requires you to eat 1 million hamburgers to open it. Sure, it's ridiculous, but good luck trying to break in.
Eat faster, faster, follow on your own time.
To hack Bitcoin, you'd need to control more computing power than half of the entire network. We're talking about consuming more electricity than entire countries. And at that point, you might as well just mine Bitcoin legitimately, or develop the next quantum computer. The odds are pretty much against you in any case.
We can't afford this hack right now.
So yes, Bitcoin uses as much electricity as Argentina, but it's also securing over $1 trillion in value, and that's the trade-off. Now, let's get specific. Bitcoin mining currently uses about 150 terawatt hours of electricity per year. That's 1.55% of the global electricity consumption. For context, that's more than Google's entire global operations times 7, less than half of what the traditional banking system uses, and about the same as all of the world's data centers combined. And way less than we spend on Christmas lights. Seriously, look it up. But those aren't just headline numbers. The reality is more nuanced. That 150 terawatt hours, it's not constant. When Bitcoin's price crashed in 2022, energy consumption dropped by 30%. When it rallied in 2024, miners plugged back in. The network literally breathes with the market. It's like a global energy thermostat controlled by pure capitalism, which is either brilliant or terrifying, depending on your perspective. And electricity isn't even the whole story. Let's talk about something the crypto community really doesn't want to discuss: electronic waste. Bitcoin mining produces about 35,000 tons of e-waste annually. That's the equivalent to throwing away the entire Netherlands' worth of small electronics every single year. Why? Because mining hardware becomes obsolete faster than your iPhone. Those ASIC miners that were top of the line 2 years ago, they're basically expensive paperweights now. The latest models are about 35% more efficient, which means if you're not upgrading, you're losing money.
Upgrades, people, upgrade.
It's planned obsolescence on steroids. And unlike your old laptop, you can't just repurpose a Bitcoin miner for anything else. It's designed to do one thing: solve pointless math problems for money. Now for the plot twist that nobody saw coming. Bitcoin miners are accidentally becoming renewable energy pioneers. Why? Because they're cheapskates. Miners need the cheapest electricity possible to stay profitable. And guess what's becoming the cheapest energy source? Renewables. Over 60% of Bitcoin mining now runs on renewable energy. In places like Iceland and Norway, it's over 90%. Miners are literally funding solar farms in Texas and reviving dead hydroelectric plants in New York. One mining company in Russia is even using excess gas from oil drilling that would normally be burned into the atmosphere, and they're turning pollution into Bitcoin. It's like environmental alchemy, except it actually works. Texas miners have contracts with the power grid where they shut down during peak demand, so when everyone's blasting their AC in August, miners go offline, preventing blackouts. They're basically giant batteries that pay you to exist. But wait, there's more. Bitcoin mining doesn't just need electricity, it needs cooling. Lots of cooling. Those mining rigs run hot, like surface of the sun hot. Well, not literally, but you get the idea. To keep them from melting, miners use water cooling systems. Some operations use as much water as a small town. In drought-stricken areas, this is becoming a real problem. There are mining farms in Arizona using millions of gallons of water while nearby communities face restrictions. It's not a great look. Some miners are getting creative though. Immersion cooling, basically dunking the computers in special non-conductive liquid, cuts water use by 95%. Others are setting up in places like Finland, where it's so cold they barely need cooling at all. One operation in North Dakota uses excess heat to warm greenhouses growing tomatoes. Bitcoin tomatoes. What a time to be alive.
Tomato, tomato.
Remember when China banned Bitcoin mining in 2021? Everyone thought it would be an environmental win. China was using dirty coal power, right? Well, yes and no. During China's rainy season, miners would migrate to Sichuan province to use excess hydroelectric power. We're talking about 61% of Chinese mining running on clean hydro. When China kicked them out, many moved to Kazakhstan, where they're burning coal. Others went to Texas, where they're building solar farms, and the environmental impact didn't disappear, it just relocated and transformed.
We're going underground, working in the coal mine.
The ban actually made things worse in some ways. Chinese hydropower that was being used for mining, some of it's just being wasted now. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan's grid is so stressed from all of the new miners that they're having rolling blackouts. It's like squeezing a balloon. The air doesn't disappear, it just bulges somewhere else. Here's something you don't need to squeeze. You can win $20 for watching this video. Not only do you get knowledge, but you also get rewarded for it on our channel. To enter the giveaway, like this video, comment below what you think about crypto's effects on the environment, and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can see more awesome videos and be part of our next giveaway. We'll announce the 3 winners with the best comments next week. Good luck. Time for some perspective. Comparing Bitcoin to other industries is kind of ridiculous, but also kind of necessary. Gold mining produces 100 million tons of CO2 annually. Bitcoin, about 65 million tons. But you can't email gold across the world in 10 minutes. The banking system uses twice Bitcoin's energy, but banks serve billions of people. Bitcoin serves, well, depends on who you ask. Maybe 10 million active users, maybe more. Nobody really knows. Even gaming consoles globally use more electricity than Bitcoin mining, but nobody's writing angry op-eds about PlayStation destroying the planet. YouTube uses about 244 terawatts annually, more than Bitcoin. TikTok's data centers, growing faster than Bitcoin's energy use. The doom scrolling habit, it has a carbon footprint too. The US military uses 30 million acres of land and produces more emissions than many entire countries. But sure, let's focus on the magic internet money. And speaking of magic internet money, Ethereum pulled the ultimate environmental mic drop in 2022. They switched from proof of work to proof of stake, cutting their energy consumption by 99.9%. That's not a typo, 99.9%. It's like if hamburger eating contests suddenly switched to lottery system. Same prize, no burgers required. So why doesn't Bitcoin do this? Well, that's where things get political and philosophical and really complicated. The Bitcoin community sees proof of work as essential. It's what makes Bitcoin hard money. Change that and you change what Bitcoin fundamentally is. It's like asking why gold is heavy. That's just what it is. Plus, proof of stake has its own problems. It tends toward centralization. The rich get richer without even trying. At least with proof of work, you need to actually do something to earn rewards. Governments worldwide are having a usual, nonchalant, normal conversation about this. And by normal, I mean completely chaotic. New York banned mining operations unless they use 100% renewable energy. Texas welcomes miners with open arms and tax breaks. The EU wanted to ban proof of work entirely, then changed their mind, then changed it again. Iran uses Bitcoin mining to evade sanctions, then bans it when the power grid struggles, then unbans it when they need foreign currency. It's like watching a country play red light, green light with cryptocurrency. Norway taxes miners extra for their energy use. El Salvador mines Bitcoin with volcano power and calls it the future. Kazakhstan welcomed Chinese farmers, then panicked when they used too much power and started shutting them down. The regulations changed so fast that by the time you're finished watching this video, at least one country will have flipped their position entirely. The pressure is creating some genuinely weird innovations though. Someone in Canada heats their entire greenhouse operation with mining rigs, growing food with Bitcoin heat. New ASIC miners are getting 150 terahashes per second. That's double the efficiency from just 2 years ago. And at this rate, we'll either solve the energy problem or create the Skynet, possibly both. Quantum computing, however, could theoretically break Bitcoin's encryption, but it would also use so much energy it might not even be worth it. It's like building a Death Star to rob a convenience store. Some miners are experimenting with nuclear power, small modular reactors specifically for mining operations, because apparently Bitcoin wasn't cyberpunk enough already. Here's where it gets really weird. Bitcoin miners are buying carbon credits to claim they're carbon neutral. It's like eating 1,000 hamburgers but planting a tree afterward. Does it balance out? Technically, maybe. The accounting gets fuzzy real fast. Some mining companies are going further. They're becoming carbon negative. They use renewable energy, then buy credits to offset more than they consume. Marathon Digital claims they're removing more carbon than they produce. Of course, carbon credits are their own controversial topic. Some are legitimate, others are about as real as, well, some people think Bitcoin is. There's a Bitcoin miner in El Salvador using volcanic energy to mine Bitcoin, which the government uses to fund schools and hospitals. For them, Bitcoin mining isn't killing the planet, it's funding their country's future. Meanwhile, climate scientists calculate that Bitcoin has the carbon footprint of 5 million cars. Environmental groups organize protests outside mining facilities. Indigenous communities in some areas welcome miners for bringing jobs and infrastructure, and in other places they fight against mining operations that strain local resources. The human cost isn't just environmental though. In Kazakhstan, families face power outages because the grid can't handle all the miners. In Texas, residents see their electricity bills spike when miners drive up demand. But in places like Africa, Bitcoin mining is funding renewable energy projects that wouldn't exist otherwise. It's complicated. Really, really complicated. Let's be honest here. Bitcoin isn't switching to proof of stake. The community sees energy consumption as a feature, not a bug. It's what makes Bitcoin hard money, but that doesn't mean nothing's changing. Mining hardware is getting 35% more efficient every year. Renewable energy is getting cheaper. Heat recycling is becoming standard, not experimental. The real question isn't, is Bitcoin bad for the environment? It's, is Bitcoin worth its environmental cost? And that answer depends entirely on what you think Bitcoin is for. If it's just digital gold for rich people to speculate on, probably not worth it. If it's a global, uncensorable monetary network that can't be controlled by any government, maybe it is. So, is crypto bad for the environment? Yes, it uses massive amounts of energy in a world that's trying to reduce consumption. And also, no, it's driving renewable energy adoption and providing financial services to millions who don't have access to banks. Also, it's complicated. Really, really complicated.
I just can't tell you, but I can.
Bitcoin mining is a mirror. It reflects our energy infrastructure, our values, and our priorities. If our electricity grids were clean, Bitcoin would be clean. If we valued financial inclusion over energy efficiency, the trade-off might seem worth it. The truth is, Bitcoin mining isn't the environmental boogeyman some make it out to be, but it's not the green revolution others claim either. It's a hamburger eating contest that accidentally became a global financial system, and somehow that's exactly what we deserve. So what do you think? Is Bitcoin's energy use justified, or are we just really good at rationalizing our digital gold rush? Let me know in the comments. And remember, whether you're Team Bitcoin or Team Environment, we're all stuck on the same planet together, at least until Elon figures out how to mine Bitcoin on Mars. Then all bets are off. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more if you liked the video, and stay tuned for more deep dives like this on our channel. And as always, stay safe.